Right, let's get to grips with this engine. These engines are well known for their valve stem oil seals breaking down. They're made from rubber, they go around the valves move up and down, and of course because this engine's been sitting they won't have seen any lubrication or any protection or anything like that, so they may have just perished. And there's also an oil fed timing chain tensioner here, fed by pressure from the oil pump in the bottom of the engine, and the slipper surface on that wears out, and also they get a bit gummed up if the engine's not seen very much maintenance. And looking at it, I think this engine has probably not seen a service for quite some time. But I will say that these Toyota lumps have a very, very good reputation, and the mileage that this one has done would indicate that it's probably only just about run in. So it's on with the gloves. Wow, this is just trying to shock. There we go. Just trying to shock the inlet manifold away from the cylinder head, and there we go. Carburetors, and you can see how the fuel and air mixture flows down from the carburetors and out through the branches of the inlet manifold and in to the combustion chamber. Pop out our spark plug leads. I think we're going to be replacing these anyway. So now we can remove the rocker cover. Then we can remove the rocker shafts. Look, that's really neat. All comes off in one complete assembly. Then I'll take the push rods out in order, give them a little waggle. Now, the part that we're concerned with is the valve stem oil seals. Now at the top here, you can see the top of the valve stems. Now those valve stems are just like a long little rod with the valves at the bottom, looking a bit like a mushroom. And inside here, there are some little rubber seals. Now, if those rubber seals perish, what happens is oil can get from here down the valve stems and into the combustion chamber, and that means that the engine starts burning oil. And a characteristic sign of that is blue smoke coming out of the exhaust. When that happens, this job needs to be done. There we are, that's just released it, I've just felt it go. Here is our cylinder head, and maybe we'll have hemispherical combustion chambers. I can't see it yet, can you? Oh yeah, hemispherical combustion chambers. And what we'll do before we take the valves out so that we can get to the valve stem seals is we'll give it a jolly good clean. Right, that's our cylinder head cleaned up a little bit. So what I'm now going to do is use this valve spring compressor machine to remove the valve springs, and then I can get the valves out and I can get to the stem seals as well. So I'm just going to lower this down. I've got it central, near enough. There we go, that's pressed down. I'm going to take out these little collets. There's the collets. They go together and they hold the spring retainer and the spring onto the valve stem. And then we have a little rubber O-ring at the top, which is a secondary seal, just an extra little seal. I can take the spring collet retainer off, the little top cap, and the valve spring off. Now I can already see that our valve stem oil seals are not in the best shape. For a start, there's this little kind of springy thing which keeps the lip of the seal in contact with the valve stem itself, and that's actually failed on here, so we're doing the right thing. So what I'm going to do is use this fancy little tool, which is essentially just a little slide hammer, which will fit over the top of the valve stem seal. When I push that down, there we go. I'm just going to go like that. Remove that. That comes a little collar over the top, and out then comes the rubber bit of the seal. As you can see, that has absolutely had it. Compare that with a new seal, absolutely pristine and ready for thousands of miles of service. So here we have, inside our cylinder head, the valve, and this is how they open and close, operated by the camshaft, and this can happen many thousands of times per minute in an engine. So it's constantly going up and down like that, which is why the valve spring has to be so strong. This is the valve itself. Now I can see that the seat's not too bad, but it's done some work, so we'll get those machine faced before we put it all back together. So to fit this, it's quite simple. The reverse process. Down it goes, that's on. Pull the valve up, we get our spring, retaining cup and spring retainer. Get a machine to go down, press down on there, get our collets. I like to put these in by hand, but some people like to use a tool. That's just me. Make sure they're down. Yep. Then get our new seal, top seal, and in fact doesn't want to sit down, I'm just going to press that down properly. Get it to sit in its groove. But in actual fact, I'm going to get those valves refaced, make sure they've got a perfect gas tight seal. So I'm actually going to take that one apart again, take them all out, then it's off for machining.